Okay, welcome Helen to Manchester. I'm Sally Penni. I'm interviewing Helen this afternoon rather. Beautiful sunny day at the People's History Museum, and I'm going to ask Helen a couple of things about what she's been up to, and we'll pick this up probably at a later stage again for our radio. So Helen, can you just introduce yourself to our audience? And our audience today is Women in the Law and UK. So welcome, Helen.
Thank you.
Helen, I'd like to ask you a little bit about your book, and then also about the centenary, and if we have time, about the Women's March, or perhaps we can start a bit about the Women's March, or March for Women rather. Can you tell us a little bit about that and your involvement?
So the March for Women is an event that takes place on the Sunday before International Women's Day. Care International has been coordinating it, and what we try and do is a combination of looking back. So some people get dressed up as the suffragettes or in other forms, but we're also engaging current feminists, activists who are involved in a whole range of women's rights issues, and critically it's also about international development and global feminism. And we've marched in different places. Last year it was from Parliament to Trafalgar Square. We've had different themes. The theme was the centenary this year, and then in 2019 the theme is going to be around women in the law.
Fantastic. Well, that sits nicely with 100 years since women were allowed to practice law.
Exactly.
So I'm delighted. Now, Helen, there are many people who can say that they've got feminism, so to speak, in their genes. So just for our audiences who are a bit younger, what is your link with the Pankhurst family?
So the suffragette movement, the Women's Social and Political Union, was started by Emmeline Pankhurst, my great-grandmother, together with her daughters. Her oldest daughter was called Christabel, her middle daughter was called Sylvia. Sylvia was my grandmother, and then she also had a daughter called Adela. So Sylvia, my grandmother, was part of the movement. Split off was actually one of the schisms within the movement was between Christabel and Emmeline on the one hand and Sylvia on the other. Sylvia felt that actually it was working women's rights that was more important, and she was slightly less keen on the militant tactics of her mother and older sister.
Yes.
And also felt that it was important to look at the linkages between women's rights and a number of other issues. It's a very short summary of a very complicated story.
Absolutely.
But in essence, that family, with its differences of opinion, lies at the heart of the suffragette movement.
Amazing. Now, can you tell us a little bit about your book? Can you just hold it up? This is me asking you to plug this book, actually. You're mortified about it. What is the book about? I can see it's Deeds Not Words and women's rights then and now. Can you just tell us a little bit about it without giving anything away?
Sure. So it starts off looking at the suffragette background. How did we get to 1918? So a personal perspective from somebody who's related and thought a lot about these issues. So that's the prologue.
Yes.
And then it looks at how far women's lives has changed or not in the last 100 years.
Yes.
Looking at chapters on politics, money, identity, culture, violence, and then the last one is on power. And in each case there are lots of anecdotes from people that I talked to or from my secondary reading. There are lots of stats, but there's also an attempt to score. So how do we feel, numerically about issues of power versus issues of culture, for example, or violence? Where have we progressed more? Where have we progressed least? So there's an analysis, and I'm encouraging my readers to also think about what they think in this regard. And then finally at the end, because I want to be upbeat, it's about what we can do between now and 2028. 2028 is the centenary of equal franchise,
wow,
which gives us 10 years. So we have 10 years. The question is, what do we want to do? How can we make a difference in the coming 10 years?
Yes.
So I've got lots of quotes from people, youngsters and older, thematically linked to the rest of the book to say, this is what we can do. And it's really, I'm hoping that people will read the book, be enthused, be angry, and also look forward to say, this is what I personally can do, and this is how I can work with others to make a difference.
Wonderful. And the book, of course, can be read by men and women, because it's important for our partners, husbands, sons, I've got 2 sons,
yeah,
to get involved in the issues and women's rights.
That's right.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Helen, thank you very much. We'll pick this up at a later date.
Lovely.